Maybe you used to sing. Maybe music once filled your days. Choir rehearsals, piano lessons, harmonies in the car. And maybe somewhere along the way, it just faded. Life got louder, you got practical, and that musical part of you went quiet. But it never disappeared. Today we're going to find it again, not through perfection or pressure or performance, but through something much lighter, through play, through one small song seed that grows from the truth in your heart. Welcome to Reawaken Your Voice. Are you tired of pushing aside your desire to sing, only for it to resurface again and again? Hey, I'm Lainey, voice and creativity coach, singer and songwriter. If you're ready to rediscover the freedom of creative expression, free from judgment, doubt, comparison, and fear, then grab that notebook full of ideas. It's time to give voice to the songs in your heart. Let's sing. Before we dive in, if you've been dreaming of writing and singing your own songs, but you feel blocked or unsure where to begin, I'd love to help you find your flow. My vocal breakthrough session is a one-on-one creative coaching experience where we uncover what's holding you back and we get your voice and your ideas moving again. You can learn more at reawakenyourvoice.com/coaching. Now, this episode is part of my Vocal Breakthrough series. This is a 6-part journey designed to help you reconnect with your voice and rediscover the joy of singing and creating music. And if you've been following along, you know that we've been kind of loosely moving through each step of my creative framework. So in episode 1, we talked about reconnecting to your voice and reawakening your desire to sing and healing the relationship with your voice. In episode 2, we talked about releasing the judgment, the fear, the limitations, the comparison, so that your true voice can come through. In episode 3, we talked about finding your rhythm, finding your flow, building a singing practice that moves with your life, not against it. And now we are in episode 4, where we're talking about the song in your heart and expressing yourself freely. So we're diving into the beautiful mess that is creation. And the moment when your voice and your heart come together to birth a new song, to create life through this living, breathing song. So this is where we really shift from practice to play, from that hesitation to expression. This is where creativity flows. And it's where you begin to write the song that only you can write. So where do songs come from? They often emerge as a whisper or a stirring or just a wave, a fleeting prayer that's carried from your heart to your ear through your voice, riding on your breath. And like any living thing, whether it's a flower or a fruit or a tree, It starts as a seed. If you've listened to the podcast a while, you know I love a good nature metaphor. So, love me. Here we are again. But isn't nature such a great metaphor for everything? It is life. We are nature. We are designed to create, and therefore, creativity is a natural process. It is reflected in nature. So, of course, I'm going to keep coming back to it. It starts as a seed. And just like living plants, some songs grow fast. They bloom in one sitting as you're desperately trying to catch up and catch them before they slip away. And others take years. We rework them and rearrange them and reshape them, and things are recycled. Take one part of one song and put it with another. And we do this until they finally feel right. Some begin one way and end somewhere entirely different, while others, they seem to come full circle and they end exactly where they started, but deeper. I've been working on a song like that recently where, it started months ago as just a melody that drifted through me, and then it disappeared. And I forgot all about it, or at least I thought I did. But just this week, it came to me again, and I didn't even notice that it was this same melody until I recorded it on my voice memos, because I was like in the middle of other things. And I thought, I have to record this. Whatever is flowing through me right now, there's something to it. There's something really alive in it. So I recorded it. And then I had this sense that I had heard it somewhere before. And I went back in my voice memos. And there it was. It was the same song. It was that same melody, but it had come back to me fuller, clearer, like more developed and ready, and there was more to it. So it had been there all along, just growing quietly inside of me all this time. That's what I love about songwriting. It is miraculous. It is this process of becoming. Think of like a seed that is buried deep in the frozen tundra. Tundra just sounds poetic. But it's buried there. You wouldn't even know it was there on the surface. But underneath, that seed is cracking open and it's beginning to sprout, and it's reaching towards the surface, reaching towards the light, reaching towards the warmth. And you wouldn't even know it until it finally breaks through. And there it is, this beautiful sign of life. Every song that comes through has something to teach you. There's something there for you. If only you stay open and you keep listening. I believe that's how this song returned to me, is that I was still open and listening. So that's an invitation to you to stay open and keep listening, even when you're not sure there's something there at all. Just stay open. and it will come to you in divine timing when all the elements are right. People often ask me how I write songs, like what my process looks like. And the truth is, there isn't one way. There isn't one right way. And every time I answer this question, I feel like it's this beautiful canvas that I kind of splatter with paint here and there, and I do some brush strokes here and there and breathe onto it, and it comes alive. And it's different every time. But it always starts with one thing: a seed. And this is how I can really give you a framework to find your song. Because that seed contains the entire creative potential of the song, if it's given the right conditions, if you stay open and keep listening. Give it that light, the water, the soil, the love, the time, the attention. It needs you. It needs your voice, your story, your breath, your experiences. Those things are like the food or the fuel or the nutrients that shape it. That's why no one else can write your song the way you can. Even with the same seed, two people would grow completely different songs because what they pour into it is different. So let's find that song seed that will take you into the flow of writing the song that only you can write. A song seed begins in one of three ways. Number one, a word, a lyric, or a phrase. Something that catches your heart. Number two, a melody. Some kind of melody that drifts through your mind. That's how it came to me this past week with this melody that came back. And number three, it can start as a chord or a harmony, a progression. And that's if you're using an accompaniment instrument like a guitar or a piano, and you start there. But that chord or that chord progression, it makes you feel something, and it starts there. But all of these three, whether you start with lyrics, a melody, or the harmony, all of them carry a feeling, an emotion, a memory, a sensation, and that's what you're really listening for. So today we're going to kind of start with being with a feeling that leads into a melody, or maybe a word that comes with a melody. I have 4 steps to start writing the song only you can write. Step 1, be present with a feeling. So you're kind of taking emotional inventory, or maybe it's like a body scan, but you're kind of scanning for a feeling, an emotion, something that you've been feeling recently, like an emotion that's been visiting you lately, whether it's curiosity or frustration or hope. You don't even need to name it. You don't need to put words to this or explain it. You just need to let it move through your voice. You can hum it, What does that feeling sound like? What does it feel like in your body? Let that come through as sound. You can sigh it, whisper it, sing a vowel. No words, no judgment, just sound. And then you let that emotion shape the melody. You feel your way into it. You can start with one note and then, let it kind of branch off a little higher or a little lower. Let that line carry you, but you're feeling your way into it. And you're simply listening for your voice to tell you, I'm here, I feel, I'm alive, here I am. Step 2, find your song seed. Now, you can begin by asking yourself, what's one phrase, one line, one word, one image, something that's been following me around lately? Maybe it's, I want to remember who I am. Or, I'm ready to feel joy again. What is it for you? Say it out loud. Now let your voice play with it. You're playing, hum it, stretch with it, repeat it. You don't need to worry about having a rhyme or a rhythm or a structure to it. This is more about being open. This is the beginning of your song. The little melody that finds you might be small. It might seem simple, but it's yours. And it's the seed of something sacred. Step 3, play with structure. These two things, play and structure, they get to dance together here. So stay in that curious place of play. But try to add a little structure here. So once you have that seed, add another line that seems to answer it. Whether it is a mirror that reflects it back, or the next stone that you're stepping on as you cross a creek, or maybe it's an echo that you hear come back to you across a canyon. Maybe it's the answer to a question. Let your breath guide the rhythm and trust your natural phrasing. You're just allowing the natural line to emerge. Step 4, express. Don't impress. When perfectionism creeps in, because it does, just remember that this is a rough draft. Like, this is a sketch. It's not a masterpiece. The point is you're not trying to impress people with this, even yourself. You're just expressing what's there. So resist the urge to edit as you go. Just let it flow out of you first. The editing, the revisions, that's for later. That's a different stage of the process. In this phase, you're simply allowing. You are kind of looking at this seed and being curious about what's there. And as you allow whatever wants to come through without judgment, without editing, or trying to form it into something that sounds good, whatever that means. As you do this, you are building creative courage. And you are developing trust in your voice as you allow it to guide you and you see what it has for you. So just play and allow your voice to guide you. Allow that feeling to guide you. Allow your natural rhythm to guide you. Allow your breath to guide you. Like I said, you are remaining open and listening. Every song begins this way. You know, it's like a little flicker of emotion and sound. The creative process isn't about mastering theory or technique. You know, those can help you later on to translate what you're hearing internally and bring them through the music. But this is about trusting yourself enough to begin. You can nurture that seed a little bit each day. You know, sing that song into being. One note, one feeling, one line at a time. And as you do that, you're not just finding your song. You're finding these parts of yourself that perhaps you had forgotten or buried, or you didn't even know were there, but have been inside of you, growing quietly all along. If you're ready to reconnect with your voice, your confidence, and your creativity, I'd love to guide you deeper in a one-on-one vocal breakthrough session. You can learn more at reawakenyourvoice.com/coaching, and I'll also put that link in the description. So until next time, keep listening for your song, stay open, because it's still in you. It's just waiting to break through the surface and show its beautiful colors in the light. Thanks for listening, friend. If this episode moved you or inspired you in some way, would you please leave a review on Apple Podcasts or share this episode with someone who's been praying for a vocal breakthrough? Until next time, keep nurturing that song in your heart. Lots of love.